Okay, thank you, Ms. Sanchez. The gentleman from Arkansas, Mr. Griffin, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Attorney General, for being here today. I want to ask you if you're familiar with the Olmstead case that deals with disability law. Are you prepared to speak about that today?
Well, I'm not an expert on it, but...
Okay. Let me ask you a few questions about it. In my state, we have a number of homes, institutions for the developmentally disabled. And around the country, there have been a number of lawsuits against some of these homes alleging violations of civil rights. And in some instances, these lawsuits are filed with the view that the Olmstead case contemplates a structure where the institutions sort of are phased out, and that individuals who are disabled, intellectually disabled, developmentally disabled, well, those individuals are moved into more community-based care. My state has been, in Arkansas, has been the subject of some of these lawsuits. First of all, I wanted to ask you, do you believe that the Olmstead case requires a movement away from institutional care for the developmentally disabled, or do you believe that these institutions can exist within the Olmstead framework?
As I said, I am not an expert on Olmstead. I am familiar with what the decision talked about, and the unnecessary institutionalization, how that clashes with the ADA. You're asking a question that I think is just beyond my.
Okay. Could I get something in writing on that? And let me continue a little bit. My concern is that those who are implementing, and I understand it's many levels below you, my concern is that some in the Civil Rights Division and the Special Litigation Section at DOJ are pursuing, and to be fair, some of this litigation began in the last administration, so this is an ongoing problem. But my concern is that there are some who read the Olmstead case as, if not requiring a move away from institutional care, at least somehow endorsing the move that those at DOJ some at DOJ have advocated for. And my reading I think anyone's reading of the case, the actual case, demonstrates that that's not what the case contemplated. That the case made it clear that that segregation of those with disabilities will not be tolerated, but that institutions could be a part of the solution there. And in fact, the opinion, the plurality opinion said, and I want to quote this to you, quote, "Each disabled person is entitled to treatment in the most integrated setting possible for that person, recognizing on a case-by-case basis that setting may be an institution." And so that is, if you could get me some answers on that, that'd be very important to me. The lawsuit that was filed in Arkansas was eventually dismissed for lack of evidence presented by the Department of Justice. And unfortunately, it cost the state of Arkansas and the development center that was involved $4.3 million to litigate that. And in the end, it was dismissed for no evidence. And if I won't go into the details here, but I'll just tell you, in a small state like ours, and with an institution like this, $4.3 million was a significant sum of money, and in fact had to be timber had to be sold, mineral rights had to be sold, etc., to help fund this litigation, which was then dismissed because DOJ had no evidence or did not have sufficient evidence. So if you could get me just your views on that, I would very much appreciate it, and I thank you for being here today and listening.
Yeah, I'd be glad to do that. I think that you have the underlying material that you have shared with regard to the disposition of those two cases is accurate. And so what I will endeavor to do is to respond to the questions that you have put to me, and I apologize for not being able to answer based on that correct factual assertion that you've made.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. The gentleman from Florida, Mr. Ross, is